Welcome to Yule Naturals. Thanks for coming here if it's your first time, and also thanks if this isn't your first time. And this is more than just skincare, this is a freaking wellness lifestyle. So let's get into it. If you're a small business, you are gonna have to start somewhere, and so maybe you wanna start an Etsy page. So let's get into it. I'm not gonna lie, I did start it a little bit and then I realized that I could turn it into a video. So I stopped myself and started recording, but I do explain everything that I did that is important for you to know how to start your Etsy page. So if you want to learn how to start an Etsy page, then please follow through this video. Alright, so after you initially hop onto Etsy, it's going to look like this. You're going to make your shop name. If you need help with creating a shop name, you can use ChatGPT for that. Like, have an idea of what you want to do, it could be earrings and then something that could be memorable, whether it's like something with your name in it or some type of feeling you want people to have when they see your brand. Just play around with ChatGPT and you can just give them a blurb about how you want it to be or the feeling behind it, and it can come up with a name for you. And also, if you don't like the names that it comes up with, you could be like, oh, I want it to be more like this. And you can do this for hours, honestly, but that's a start. And then you can go from, coming up with a name to when you want to make a business to see if it already exists. But that's a whole nother video, but just to get your Etsy page started. But I'm assuming you already have a name and everything going. But if not, start there, come up with your name. And then it's time to create your listing. So like I said, I kind of already started it, but I'll show you how I did it in reverse. So make your title. I honestly kind of came up with something and then I put it in ChatGPT and it helped me make it a little bit more pretty, and you can say it's for Etsy. And as for your photos and videos, I would definitely add a video because that helps people to kind of see what they're gonna expect, because just remember that people are buying this online, so you're gonna have to give them some type of better view than just a photo. If they can kind of see what they may feel, then I feel like that's a big win. Okay, so for your Etsy page description, I want you to go on someone else's Etsy page that's similar to what you're going to sell. Like if you're going to sell t-shirts, go on someone else's t-shirt page and read their description and think, okay, was that informative enough? Did they kind of like have measurements, or did they talk about the feel of it? If you feel like their page is the right amount of information, don't copy them, but like take from that to be like, okay, that's the right amount of information that I need. But if you go on someone else's page and it's not, descriptive enough, then maybe you're like, okay, I know that I need to write like this shirt is polyester and cotton, so it's good for activewear. Put that down in yours if that's one of your main things. Write down all the different things that you think will help your brand stand out more than like a bajillion other people on Etsy that are selling the same thing, because that's really gonna matter at the end of the day. Yeah, so that's why on mine I wrote a really nice description of what scents are. Honestly, I did use ChatGPT again. It's so hard for me to understand or like how to describe a scent, so I just kind of had to write down what the essential blend was, and then I just wrote, don't write the actual word because I didn't want my secrets to be out. So I had to have it described, and that's hard for me to do. But anyways, use ChatGPT. I freaking love ChatGPT. Okay, anyways, enough about that. Just go crazy with your description. I think more is better, honestly, but definitely compare with other people's just to kind of get where you're going. So then next is price and inventory. I just think it's really nice that you have your price, and then it kind of breaks down what your estimated profit is, and it tells you how and why. And then also it tells you their estimated fees on the Etsy page, but then also you have to remember what your costs are. Like how much does it cost to make it? Just remember that, and don't be afraid for your pricing. And that will be another video if you want to know how to price your item. And then how many hours are you putting in? Are you paying yourself $5 an hour? Or are you paying yourself more? Selling this one thing has to include all that in there. So I think it's kind of nice that it has like your cost of the other thing, but it doesn't break it down like you probably should, which I could also do another video on that. But anyways, I do find it kind of helpful that it shows your estimated profit. All right, so your quantity, I don't have an SKU, but if you do a SKU, I guess I say, if you have one, then you're gonna have to add it in there. Just click the plus sign, easy peasy. For me, I also know that Etsy, each listing you have is a additional cost. So I don't want to have like a bajillion soaps of 1 cent. Instead, I have like a cent line that's all the same. So if you have like, I don't know, like I keep using t-shirts, but if you have like a t-shirt company and let's say you have a t-shirt design that's based off of zodiac signs, like I would just call it like the zodiac t-shirt, and then I would have variations of each t-shirt. Like you could have the Aries, the the Leo, and just have different variations instead of having every single shirt with the different zodiac sign and making like, I don't remember how many zodiac signs are, but you don't want to make, or horoscope signs. I'm saying zodiac. It's a whole different thing. But you don't want to have like a bajillion of those. You can, because I heard that it helps to have more listings, but at the end of the day, you could put it all under one variation, especially if you want to sell a whole bunch of different shirts. So I would definitely kind of put that into consideration on how much you want to spend on each listing and how many variations you have of each one. And especially if you're having the same price, because you're going to have the same price for different variations. But you can also change that too. And then next is tags and attributes. I don't have different colors for mine, but that might be helpful. Once again, if you have t-shirts, you might have like a gray, a black, a white, whatever. I don't have different color soaps. And if you have different occasions, like sure, it might be a wedding. They don't really give you a lot of options on occasions, but I guess that's their choices. And then they have different occasions for holidays. So, during certain times, if that's like the big tagline of people looking for Christmas shirts, then that will be the first thing that pops up if you put it onto the holiday tag. Speak of tags, I use ChatGPT once again, and I like wrote out my title, and then I was like, make tags on Etsy for this, and I said, give me 13 different tags, and it gave me all these tags. And same, well, for the materials, I just kind of wrote down my ingredients. So you can write different things that help your materials. If you have to add stuff about your manufacturing information, I don't really have that because I'm making it handmade. You may have other things involved, so you might have to get into that, which honestly I don't know that much about, so you may have to find somebody else. But I'm sure it won't be that hard to look up stuff. You could probably use ChatGPT. All right, so details. Like I said, mine's a physical item. I did it. I finished it. Blah, blah, blah. You can click change and you can see all the different options.
Just check it out and do what you need for your product.
And then your category, there's a bajillion categories, and I just kind of typed in soap, and then it showed me this option at the very end. So that was really nice, and you can find whatever yours is on there, I'm sure. It'll fit some category. So just type it into the search bar and boom, you'll be there. All right, so the shipping part, this is fun. If you have a whole bunch of different items, you might want to write down which profile name it's for. So this one's for my soap. So my zip code is in Georgia. Now you know kind of where I live. And then your processing time, and then also what countries you'll ship to, and then at the end of it, it's all your shipping services. So I just clicked every single one because at the end, well, I didn't do the media one because I don't have media stuff, but I clicked every single one because it allows the customer to choose what kind of shipping they want, because you don't want them to necessarily pay for the slowest one if they want it tomorrow. And you don't want them to pay for the fastest one if it's something that they're like, oh, I don't need it today. and they don't want to pay for that extra fee. So I just like to have everyone checked for options for the customer. And I do not do free shipping. I am sorry. Maybe one day I'll get to that point, but I am not there. And then you can write down your item weight if you have your shirt. Weigh that thing, how much it weighs on average. This can be kind of like your template. You can change it before you send out the shipping label if you have a different weight on your item. Same as your package, your item size. So my box, I have 2 different box sizes. So this one may come up, but if I'm doing a different box size, then I can change the box sizing in the moment. So don't worry about putting something and it's not going to be set in stone. And this kind of breaks down the shipping cost estimation. So it's kind of nice to just see it. And you can change your return and exchange policy. For me, I'm selling soap. I don't want to exchange that, especially because I just don't want to do any exchanges or returns if anything is touched, licked, whatever. I don't know. So we're just not doing returns and exchanges. But please do you and do what you feel is right. And don't hate because I'm not doing no returns and exchanges.
And here with the shop section, it just kind of helps the people be able to see which category your item might be in. So if you have a whole bunch of different soaps or lotions, you can put it in different sections.
The feature this listing is like if you have a page of 1,000 listings, you want one to be your main spotlight, maybe like the biggest image, you're going to want that to be featured. Let's say it's a zodiac sign ones and it's June, so you want it to be Gemini month, so you're going to want that one featured or something. I don't know. And then for the renewal options, you can automatically do it where Etsy will charge you 20 cents for that same listing forever. And you can change it and you can stop it. For me, I just did the manual expiration so I can kind of see how it does and just do my own analytical analysis within the next, I think it's 3 or 4 months. I can't remember now, but actually let me check. Okay, so it's 4 months. For you, if you want to be automatic, please do so. And then also you can change it up whenever you want. So, all right, and then at the end, you can do a little preview. We love a little preview of what it'll look like as a listing for your customers. I think mine looks really cute. Well, that's me. And then you can kind of play around and see what it would look like for a customer to buy. So I am going to continue on. So anyways, so now we're going to cancel. And then we're going to move forward to do this later because I don't need to add any more. And I'm not adding any more listings. All right, so payment setup. So next it goes to so write down your bank location, and then you're going to have to fill out what type of tax, like for tax purposes, what kind of business you are, or if you're not a business. Just know that even though you're filling this out right now, they don't approve it until later on. Probably like within the next 30 minutes to an hour, but just heads up on that. And what I mean by that is you're filling this out and they'll be like, okay, we're going over we're verifying your social security number and stuff like that. So it takes a minute for your page to officially open up. Or you tell a little bit about yourself and then you link your bank account so you can get paid and they can also take your money. So there's a few ways you can do it. You can put it express or manually. And of course, I tried the express route. Here are your different options of your different identification you can give them.
All right, so it's going to take a photo of the front and then the back of your ID, and then it is going to work on uploading your ID and verifying you. And now the quick selfie, easy peasy, just do a little side face thing, and now you're verified. All right, it's time for the one-time payment. So when you get ready to set up your Etsy page, it's gonna cost $29, and once again, this is one time. Put in that credit card and just know however many listings you're gonna set up, it's gonna cost 20 cents each for 4 months, and you'll have to renew the 20 cents every 4 months. All right, so I didn't really understand this part until it actually happened, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but they're going to hold your credit card until all of your verifications go through, and then they'll charge your card. All right, so this step is really easy. Just, precautionary act of two-factor authentication, plug in your number, and then you'll be free to go from there. All right, so this part's kind of weird, but they give you basically a matrix of codes that you need to save, and it's specific to your account. So copy and save that before you go on. Okay, so now we are officially on our shop page, and we are going to see how everything looks officially. So it's gonna give you a few pop-ups, and you can do what you do with those, and some little things to learn about. But we're gonna go on Shop Manager on your top right. Hooray, the business is open. So exciting. And you can click on all the doodads. All right, so just from the dashboard, here is a quick glance going down to the bottom of what your new sellers page is gonna look like, and also some other things to check out later on. But going back to the top, I'm gonna go on the view search visibility, where you can start to customize your page. You can add your shop title, shop icon, you can add a banner, and you can do things like announcements, message buyers. And this is just for your Facebook account or your Twitter account. I added my Facebook even though I don't really use it, but obviously link whatever you have.
Thanks for watching all the way through this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about it. And if you have any questions, please write it down in the comments below, and hopefully I can answer it. And if I can't answer it, hopefully somebody in our community that we'll hopefully build one day can be helpful, and we can just kind of help each other out, because let's be real, small business is definitely hard, and it's not easy to do it by yourself. And I hope you come back to another video coming up in the future. Don't forget, stay natural.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.